In this video, I will show you how to increase the size of your pepper plant. If you clicked on this video for other reasons, please stick around. You might still find the content interesting. The method I'm about to discuss is usually not a factor gardeners who are more dedicated to vegetables think about, as they tend to have a shorter-term view than gardeners who grow fruit trees. With fruit trees, especially when they are planted directly in the ground, placement in the garden is key and requires a more long-term view with multiple factors to consider. To some extent, vegetables also require some planning with regards to placement, but this planning is often limited to crop rotation and maybe occasionally companion planting to increase yield and control pest proliferation. Ideally, you already have some experience with your pepper plant before attempting this enlargement program. In many regions across North America, September usually marks the beginning of the end season for peppers. As gardeners are starting to wrap things up, it's a good time to think about placement for the next pepper growing season, if you have never really put some thought into it. One factor to experiment with is the adaptability of the pepper varieties you enjoy growing. More specifically, how do they respond to competition for light? The height of a pepper plant is determined by its genetics, but just like with any other living things, external factors also play a crucial role. In a forest, trees grow more straight up, while they tend to spread more horizontally in an open field with no competition. The same principle also applies to pepper plants. There are two ways to induce competition for light. The first one is to have the pepper plants very close to each other, less than a foot apart, in the same container. Another way is to plant something that grows tall and fast. A tomato plant. Have you ever wondered which plant grows faster, the tomato or the pepper plant? In this setup, I placed the tomato plants in front of a Goria pepper variety, which is supposed to reach an average height of 2.5 feet and a maximum height of 3, maybe 3.5 feet. The tomato varieties are Big Beef and Black Russian. They are both indeterminate varieties, meaning they can grow as tall as you want them to, as long as you provide adequate support. They even had a head start over the peppers, since they were already 1-year-old cuttings when I planted them in the container this year. The pepper plants are all seedlings I germinated indoors this past winter. Note that although they are planted very close to each other, the pepper plants and the tomato plants are not planted together. I have ditched raised beds for large containers and will probably never look back. Large containers have some advantages over raised beds. One of them being the possibility to have crops very close to each other without sharing the same soil. As you can see, the pepper plants in the back managed to keep up with the fast-growing tomato plants. They are all well above the average height of 2.5 feet and reached this height in early August during the short Zone 5 growing season. One pepper plant is even taller than the tallest tomato plant. It is almost 5 feet tall. Think of this as competition planting as opposed to companion planting. Growing taller pepper plant is interesting when space is limited. I did not notice a significant difference in terms of food production. I would even venture to say that it seems to me that food production was slightly higher with the taller pepper plant. I already harvested a bunch of peppers in late July at the lower branches, and there are plenty of new flowers and well-developed fruits at the top. Note that I never pruned the pepper plants. I did stake some of them as they grew taller. I planted another variety of peppers in front of the tomato plants. This variety reaches an average height that is slightly smaller than the average height of the Goria pepper in the back. But notice how small the pepper plants in the front are compared with the tomato and the Goria pepper plants. The pepper plants in the front did not have to compete for light as much as the Goria pepper plants in the back. I planted the same pepper variety in a separate container. The container is smaller, but there's only one plant in it. This plant, which did not have to compete for light at all, is smaller than the ones from the same variety in front of the tomato plants. The key for this experiment is to select the right tomato variety for the specific pepper variety you want to grow. The main factors to consider are growth rates and maximum heights. One last word. I also did the same experiment in a raised bed. In the last one I have not dismantled yet. I had the pepper plants in the same soil with sunchokes. The pepper plants struggled to stay alive. I must say though that I believe this raised bed has been overtaken by invasive roots from the tall trees nearby. Still, notice the difference in size between the sunchoke and the pepper plants. Thank you for watching. Please help me get rid of my last raised bed by liking and subscribing.